Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Lunar New Year. We're still in new moon in Aquarius energy. We have the year of the water rabbit that I'll talk about for a little bit. And it's so lovely to just be here in this first, like, I don't know, because to me, I felt like we're kind of in like a purgatory for the first couple of weeks of January because you had all these retrogrades going on, and now we don't have no retrogrades. Isn't that fabulous? I'm so excited. So to start off really quick, hi, I'm Soul Coach Michelle, and welcome to my channel, the Soul Coach Studio, where we talk about manifesting. This is the weekly energy report. I'm going to be doing a little bit more on YouTube. The spirit is calling me, even though I've been pushing against it. But now that we're moving forward and the water rabbit says flow, so we gonna flow. Um, may sometimes begrudgingly and other times like, all right. So, anyways, welcome. I am dedicated to supporting you and shifting your energy and manifesting the life that you love in your spiritual journey. So we do a lot of woo, we do a lot of science because I'm a woo-woo nerd. And just welcome to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe because this is a weekly thing. Click the bell so you know when to join. And if you love it, give it a thumbs up because that way YouTubes will know to share it with other people. Okay. Um, Really quick, I'm so excited to share with you. I am launching something new. It's called Your Akashic Records Journey because several years ago, and if you're on the email list, you'll see this tomorrow. You'll see my story about this a little bit tomorrow. But several years ago, I participated in an Akashic journey. Normally, we hear about people saying, "Oh, well, you have to hire a reader to do that," you know. But the fact is that you can go there yourself, and you can do some shifting there, and you can do some other stuff. And I did very quietly participate. I mean, we're talking like 2018, so several years ago, or maybe before that. But anyways, participated where, and I'm just gonna say, I've never told anybody this before. Darren, I share stuff with all the time, but he's always like, okay, well, whatever. My super close circle of friends. Well, my Akashic records that I visited was like, hey, welcome back. You were a librarian here. You've chosen to vacation on Earth. I'm like TripAdvisor, like 1.5, 2 stars maybe. And this is kind of the stuff you're going to be doing, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, what? What? Okay. Yeah, that's weird, but whatever. And so very quietly after that was over, I started to put together something called Your Akashic Journey or a journey to your Akashic records. I don't remember what I call everything. And took a few individuals on a VIP, like a 3-day long journey thing. So to fast forward to like literally like less than a month ago, these retrogrades that have happened all at the end of last year, which now we're direct. Um, the fact is that those things cause warp speed changes. Like a month ago, before Christmas, I never would have said to you, "Hi, I'm getting certified in sound healing. And by the way, I'm going to take 8 people into their Akashic records and we're going to heal some stuff. And we're going to like see when our soul was born and do all that kind of stuff." These retrogrades that have happened, like one of the things I would love for you to do that I'm sending out the email tomorrow that have journal prompts in there is to invite you to kind of really take some quiet time, especially under this new moon, and ponder what changes like a month ago, what I never have thought I would be doing that I'm doing now, and I'm okay with it. And also, the other thing I want to invite you to understand is that you might be a little tired right now, even though retrogrades are over. The fact is that when and a lot of people I heard this from, including myself, and several people wrote me and was like, I feel like it's like I'm resisting, and then I'm aware that I'm in resistance, and I have to be like, okay, I gotta stop resisting. Like it's almost like we've been taking breaks and then becoming unaware again and holding that boulder in place and resisting stuff and then coming back to ourselves. So you might need a nap. because it's been a little bit of a rough ride, but a good rough ride. So the nap is good. Give yourself permission to rest. And I'll talk about why that's important later, especially in our new year of the water rabbit. So, anyways, I will, there's links below if you want to check out that Akashic Records Journey thing. Would love to have you. There's only 8 spots. I'm going to keep it real small so that people, can have a chance to. We're going to journey in. We're going to do some intuitive coaching. There's going to be sound baths. It's going to be really super awesome. Still kind of in flux, but the structure is there. So anyway, to the energy of the week. Yay, yay, yay. Retrogrades are over. Hey, Sharon. Thank you. Yes, Pluto will be retrograde in March, I think. Honestly, I haven't looked that far ahead because I am just being excited in the now. I'm not going to look at any other stuff right now because I'm focusing on the prosperity of the now. So let's all do that because we want to make sure that we're focusing on the gratitude of pondering what we have shifted into, being like, yay, we're here. And then we can think about how we're going to navigate the next 24 hours if we stay in that space to be sure that we are grateful and saying, thank you, more of this, please, instead of like trying to prepare, like, should we go get our umbrellas now in March? Okay. But yeah, there's always retrogrades happening, but we are in a rare time where there's nobody like freaking out. We might be in post shadow and all that kind of stuff, and that's cool. But understand that because we are now direct and we have water rabbit, which is like rabbit is yin, water is yin. We got all this lovely divine feminine energy that speaks to for this year overall. Now, like you can go and look up, I'm a rat, I'm not a rabbit, because the year that I was born in, go look up your own year. I don't know all that crap as well as I know other things, but you can go find, if you Google things like year of the water rabbit for whatever your Chinese zodiac is, and you can see like what's going on. Anyway, but in general, we are in this lovely divine feminine energy, the Kuan Yin energy for the next year, which is a lot about meditation. She's queen of meditation, queen of inner focus, queen of like really getting to know yourself and moving from that space. So the other thing is rabbits are equated to wood. I'm reading my notes that I've taken because, again, I don't know a ton about this. I'm just sharing information from my research. So rabbits in their element is wood, and then that equates to earth energy. And then we have water, which nurtures wood. So this year, and the other thing about rabbits is they're compassionate and fun, and they like to create a lot of things. They're always like, a friend of mine from college, his mom used to say stuff like, be quick like a bunny. Like we're always wanting to move really, really fast in the rabbit energy. But there's intellect there. We're moving from a place of like planned stuff because we've been planning for a long time with this retrograde business, right? So we got intellect, power, empathy, and the rabbit energy with the wood. And it's also yin. So it's that kind of from a place of wisdom, from a place of intuition. And then we have water blending in that energy, which is nurturing the rabbit, right? So going with the flow. So if stuff seems overwhelming because it's fast, 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 slow down. How can I be more in flow with this? It's clearing. Water is clearing. It's also about, love and emotion and self-care of the rabbit, which is you. So think of it this way. It's like, I got a lot going on. I'm going to create some stuff that's going to bring prosperity and abundance this year. I'm going to do it a lot, and it's going to be fast, which might be a little bit crazy and can lead to burnout sometimes. I don't know about you, but I know if I just like go boobs to the wall about things, I burn out. So it's been a very intense thing for me to say, okay, how am I going to not burn out this time? So the thing that is with the water part is, how can I support myself in a proactive way this year? Because things, like I said, they're going to move fast. You're going to want to do stuff. And yes, like, was brought up earlier, there are retrogrades and other planetary cosmic weather. We'll get to that when we get there. But the fact is, under that weather, how can I support myself to navigate this like get it done kind of energy, but also, in the creative sense, but then also, how do I support myself in doing that so I don't burn out? So like, a lot of times we think about self-care from the perspective of, oh my gosh, I'm so burnt this week. I so need a pedi. I just need someone to take care of my toes. Well, the fact is that if we took that nap or we went and got the pedi when we thought like, oh, I need to put that on my list and stop moving it. Oh, well, on Monday, I can't go Monday. Well, I'll do Tuesday. Oh, I got busy Tuesday. If we stay hard stop, I'm taking care of me. so that I can be there to nurture others, then that is the way we need to roll instead of waiting till we're overwhelmed. So putting us first is another big deal. That's water. Okay. So that's kind of how I feel about this. And again, because of all of that stuff and the new moon in Aquarius, by the way, if you have not done your new moon ritual because you were busy yesterday, it was a weekend. Yes, it was in the afternoon. But if, or on what was it? No, yesterday was the new year. Saturday was new moon. So you have new moon energy in Aquarius. Aquarius is thought and planning and inwardness. So if you haven't done your ritual, go ahead and do it. It's okay. You have till I think 7:30. I'm gonna look really quick. I wrote it down. Wait, I have it down right here. 7:43 p.m. Central Time tomorrow, which is Tuesday. If you're with me live, if you are on the replay, Tuesday, the 24th of January, 2023. To do your new moon ritual. I mean, you can always do ritual. I'm one of those people. It's like, it's always fun, to do stuff when with the energy that it's supposed to be. But you know what? If you miss it, but you still want to do it, have at it. Whatever works for you. It's all about intention, anyways, right? Okay, so since there's not a lot of stuff to really navigate, it's much more about what I keep getting is understanding two things. One, the energy that it took for us to navigate all of the stuff in the last quarter of last year that ended kind of as of yesterday. We have to remember when we're working out, when we're working in the yard, when we're working and we're trying to do things, especially when we're navigating new stuff, which this was, like I said, you had a lot of stuff happening where you'd have to do it twice because of the Gemini factor. Because it was retrograde, you might have to communicate the same thing 3 times because communications were off. Mars kept everybody wanting more, but not being able to go anywhere. And that kind of being overwhelmed and frustrated and just popping off and not feeling like movement. There's a resistance there that now is not there anymore. And it may create some tiredness. So be okay with not totally lighting up your rocket fuel and taking off today. Take today to kind of be in that shift. You want to shift gears. You don't, you drop your transmission if you go to from fifth gear to nothing till first, and you're doing 70 on the highway, right? So understand that it's okay to take a minute. You're in that transition energy right now with the new moon and the lunar new year. So you're in that transition energy. Take today and tomorrow to kind of just get your ducks in a row. How do I want to launch this? How do I want to launch myself? Maybe if you're not the kind of person that automatically knows how to self-care, maybe sit down and write out what are some ways that I really like to self-care. And the way to do that might be check in with your love language. Right? Because if you're everybody likes to tell other people their love language because they're love me this way. Well, why don't you love you that way? Find out what it is and then do those things for yourself. I think I've talked about this previously. Your moon sign is an indicator of how to self-care for yourself. So if you Google your moon sign with self-care, it'll tell you what will support you and you'll read it and be like, oh yeah, like mine. I am a Virgo sun, Pisces moon. So Pisces are they love them some hygge, the Norwegian coziness. So yeah, I think Saturday, I just spent it was either yesterday or Saturday, I forget which day, but I was in my fuzzy slippers and cooking and just not leaving my house and just being and planning and watching some old TV shows. That was such a self-care day for me. So figure out what your self-care is and do that proactively. Maybe put it in your calendar like you do all the other have-tos because it is a have-to this year. The other part of this is when you think about, when I think about I'm getting certified in sound healing, it makes so much sense now, but literally today's the 23rd. So Christmas is less than 2 days shy of being a month previous now. I would never have said to you, oh, I'm so excited. I ordered singing bowls and tuning forks and all the things. And by the way, I'm going to start this journey to your Akashic Records thing. So look at where you were a month ago even, or 3 months ago. And look at where you are now. What are you planning? Are you like expanding in the career that you're in? Did your relationships change? Did how you view all that stuff change? Did you leave your corporate job for starting your own business? Are you shifting gears in your own business? Are you shifting gears in your mindset? All of this stuff, kind of ponder it and celebrate it, because it's a celebration to be like, oh wow, I never thought I'd be here. And after all the challenges from the end of last year, this feels so nice and right. And yeah, it can be scary when we're moving into new spaces, which is again why I'm launching all these other things to help shift that energy for you so that you can move into those spaces. But I really feel like what spirit wants from us right now is to just be in that very yin, Kuan Yin place as we move through this year of understanding that prosperity doesn't always come from toiling away and rubbing your scrubbing your fingers raw and burning the skin off your nose as you put it to the grindstone. Actually, the more you take care of you, the more productive you can show up for other people, because we're in this culture of where it's better to look busy than actually to be productive, and then go around wearing a badge of like, I only got 2 hours of sleep and blah 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 and all this other bullshit. So maybe that's another place to start with your sleep hygiene night ritual. Figure out what that is for you. Look that up on Google. Nighttime sleep hygiene, or which isn't really about bathing unless you like to shower at night, or sleep rituals, like pre-sleep rituals, and do those things. Like that's the kind of, it's a year to figure out, how am I going to support myself in implementing that support. So divine masculine is, how can I support myself? Divine feminine is implementing those supports, and we're in a divine feminine year. So you got to kind of do the both things. Okay. Now, the cool thing is for this year, as we move into that space, I got this deck in October, and Spirit finally was like, you need to open this. Ooh, I love this. Okay, so I'm just gonna show this to you because you're used to seeing the animals. So I love Denise Lynn. I think she's lovely. I've listened to her for a lot of years. And this deck resonated with me. It's not newly released. It just, I saw it and I was like, ooh, I like that. And on the inside of the box, there's like a little quote, and it says, enter a secret dimension to discover the truth of your soul. Isn't that lovely? I'd love that. So, and I have the book here because, I do like to do intuitive stuff, but sometimes they'll say, read the pages. So I'm just going to keep it handy because, again, I only opened this over the weekend. And what we're going to ask is, Spirit, we got all this lovely energy that we're moving into to kind of get us started, this lovely water rabbit energy. What do we need to know to support us as we move into this like space of self-care, while also, because we're holding the two containers at the same time, which normally we don't talk about, right? We don't talk about going and getting our toes and nails done, or taking a nap, or like hanging out with our friends, or being on your own, whichever is more recharging for you, while also being productive. Those two things generally in our culture don't get held together. And this year we need to hold them together. So to get us to that new mindset, what can help us do that? So I'm going to pull the 3 cards like I do the others, but we're going to use this deck. And isn't this pretty? So by the way, I love how she's riding a Pegasus. That's the main, the backs for all the decks, see, the cards. But anyway, so we're just going to do this. Yep. Okay, I love this. Yep. And this one, okay. Love it. So here's interesting. So the first card, which is the answer, right, is Maple Spirit, which is generosity. And then you'll notice down here in the corner of each card is a number. So this is 23, and 2 and 3 is 5, which is change. And notice how our maple tree is red because it's fall. There's shifting going on. So, but I love the fact that it's generosity, because I don't know about you, but being a Gen Xer, I grew up when I was a little kid. And I think it was like Shel Silverstein wrote The Giving Tree. And like every adult in my life, I probably had 5 copies of this. And I love this book. So it was all about, how the tree would give and give and give until it was just a stump, and then the little boy would sit on the stump. And even in when the tree was cut down, it still was giving. So I think the coin there is two-sided, meaning remember our generosity has to be given with boundaries, because we may want to give and give and give and love and love and love, but it has to be in a reciprocative cycle. Okay. And so that means even though we're giving with our generosity, we need to make sure we retain a boundary that makes us and allows us to recharge. And I kind of love this card. It's so pretty. And I love that the red is representative also that's coming to me is root chakra. So being generous with the structure, with that, with who we are, and the stability that we bring to situations for other folks, I think is what we're talking about here. Being generous more of energetically. Ooh, ooh. And I think that the generosity of spirit is really what we're talking about. Okay. And then we have the foggy bog, which is patience. I love this. I believe that's a crane. So we have trees. The reason I love this one is you got trees and people and animals in here. So foggy bog energy, patience. So even though right now this week, we have the whole like being generous, and being generous, not just with other people, with ourselves, giving yourself that space. Be generous with spirit, with yourself, and patient with yourself. Patience for you to find your way in because we're coming out of the fog, right? I don't know about you, but it felt pretty effing foggy for the last several months. And coming out of that, and I love that the number on here is 18, which adds up to a 9. So meaning that our fogginess is ending, because 9 is endings, right? So we're going to come out of that foggy bog, and we're going to be patient instead of resisting. And we're now patient, and we're giving generosity of spirit as we're patient. And then as we move even further into the end of the week, we have air spirit. And remember, air is Aquarius, air is thought, right? And the number here is 1, new beginnings. And she's sailing off with the knowledge of what we've learned over the last couple of retrogrades. Off we go. Not from a place of starting over, not from a place of no knowledge whatsoever, but we're starting from a place of knowledge. You're not starting from nothing. You're starting from a place of knowledge and moving forward. So understanding that this week is so lovely. We are in a new energy. We're going to be generous of spirit with ourselves, generous in our root chakras to give ourselves that stability, that feeling of worthiness. And we're going to be meditative and be in that tree energy, that loveliness, that maple spirit of, and then the 5, obviously the 2 and the 3 makes 5. So there's shifting going on. And then being patient as we come out of that foggy bog, a little more patience, just like a day or two, giving yourself patience, being generous of spirit with yourself, and then floating into the new adventure. And whenever I see little bubbles like this on any card, I always think to myself, that's putting intentions out there, right? That's putting intentions out there. And this is a 1. So we're going off on the new adventure, which makes total sense. You can't make this shit up. And like, I don't even, I can't even reach into this deck and pull out a card because I don't know what they all are yet, because I only just got this. But I love that. So this week, be generous with yourself, be patient with yourself, and know by the end of the week, you're going to kind of have your intentions really clear, and you're going to be just sailing off. And that's so lovely, in my opinion, anyway. Scratchy throat. Hydrate. Anyway, so I'm really excited. I get my singing bowls this afternoon, or so Amazon says. I'm excited about that. And it's really funny because I had intended on ordering them for those of you who are musicians. 440 tuning is the general tuning in the 1930s that everybody tunes to. So like if I showed up with, a piano and somebody showed up with a guitar and we both were playing in the key of C, it wouldn't be weird because the resonance would match because everybody's tuned to 440 hertz. Well, 432 hertz is the vibration that is more comfortable to the human body. And the thing is, there's always going to be kind of like a differential, the standard deviation of error when you're making handmade things. And so it could, even though you're ordering a 432, you might end up with a 440. But the fact is that, like, my intention was to buy 440s mostly because because I do know other musicians who are also woo, that if everybody kind of came together, we'd all be tuned to the same frequency. But accidentally or not, you all know, um, excuse me, I ended up getting 432 bowls, which I was like, oh, that feels really good. So I'm hopefully when they come, I want to do an unboxing and share that with you. Um, because I think it's going to be super fun. And I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the Akashic Records journeys. If you want to see more about that, the link is, if you're on Facebook, I think it's below, or maybe it's above. Either way, I think YouTube is down here and Facebook is up here. So if you want to go with me into your own Akashic Records, you don't have to, have someone read them for you all the time. You can actually go there on your own. And then also, instead of just finding out who you were or what's going on in this lifetime, you can actually rewrite your record. You identify your block, you can clear it in the record, you can rewrite. So it's not just like, hey, I was Queen Elizabeth, you're drinking your Prosecco at a party talking about who you were in a past life. You actually can go in there and see, where did this block come from? And I want to clear it. Now, also, after that's over, there's also like breaking habits that you created unconsciously to kind of keep that block in a safe space so that you wouldn't move past it and stuff. So there's residual stuff after, just like when you go to a Reiki session, if someone clears your root chakra and you continue to behave the way you did before, the root chakra goes back to where it was. So it's also, there's healing plus a shifting in how we navigate the world so that we can maintain the clarity. But it's basically a really great um, ancestral clearing, a personal several lifetimes clearing, all that kind of stuff. So, and it's fun and you get to do it with other people, which is even funner because you can't, like, when something like that is exciting happens and you don't have other people to share with, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like, so but it's still small enough to where there's a lovely safe container for that. So anyways, the links are here, depending on what platform you're looking at. You can email me about it if you want to. Other than that, remember, be generous with yourself, be patient with yourself, and know that at the end of the week, you will be setting some really great intentions based on all of the shifts that you've experienced, and you'll be sailing off into that water rabbit year of prosperity, year of creating abundance like crazy, and doing so with the support of you allowing yourself to rest and be productive at the same time, which is not something we're used to here in America. We're not used to saying, well, I took a really great nap and I got the Excel spreadsheet done. Those two things generally don't go together in our culture. But the energy will be there this year that allows that. So lean into it. That's my encouragement for you this week. I love you guys so much. I will see you soon. And for whatever reason, I don't think Facebook is allowing people to post comments. Well, for me to see the comments that you post while here. So if you've posted comments on Facebook, I will come back to that and say hello. But if if you're on YouTube, you can post away as long as you're signed in, as we're doing live and talking. So anyways, I love that you were here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. Watch the replay if you came late. And if you have questions, go ahead and post them. And about, just what, like the Akashic Records Journey or doing coaching or any of that kind of stuff. And I love you so much. Have a great week and I'll see you next week. Unless the bowls come and everything is cool and I'll be like, I don't know, I may suck at it. I've never done it before. So I don't know. I've just been like taking my courses and now I had to order my instruments. So we'll see. I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon. Blessings. Bye.